Good morning, everybody on YouTube. This is Rick Thomas from Obsolete Video Services. Today, I'm going to do another follow-up on my broadcast build for the new year. Of course, you guys see me setting this up, and I'm slowly but surely putting this together. But I thought I'd post another video of interest because I have had people ask me about this. But anyways, as you can see, I'm setting things in place. I've got a lot of different decks. Betacam SP, 3/4 U-matic. Here we got Betamax, Betacam SP, Digital Betacam SP, DVC Pro. Then we got DVCam. So I'm going to design this thing in this rack with just relatively up-to-date formats that are going to suspend either on shelves or on top of each other. I'm just kind of designing this as I go, but I'm trying to make it user-friendly to ProRes as much as possible because I know a lot of people are wanting ProRes files as well as going directly over to the computer for like PC files. So you got a problem there. It's like, how can you make everything user-friendly so you can do both systems? So I'm designing it as I go along. So we want to keep the highest quality possible and what you're using to create the files. But I want to stay away from composite as much as possible and go strictly component to SDI. As you can see, this is an SDI converter right here. And I want to try to get everything going from component to SDI and try to get some decks have composite on it. You don't have much of a choice, but some of the decks that I'm selecting for this rack will be component out to SDI conversion to ProRes or PC files. So I'm trying to do the design the way I want to do it. As you can see, I got this BNC patch bay, which is going to make it easier to run relatively different connections, maybe composite ones through here and do the component ones directly to the conversion. But this is a very complex build for what I'm actually doing right now. But it's coming along. I'm going to get everything all set up the way I want it. And then once I get it to the point where I want it for the ProRes and for the PC capture, I'll be able to jump from one thing or another. Plus, I'll be able to plug in any of the heavier equipment like the 1-inch machines and other oddball machines that I can roll on carts directly to the patch bay, and it ties into either one of them. So this is a real complex design the way I'm doing this, but I want to make it compliable to both ProRes and PC recordings, and don't want to jump around plugging crap in like crazy. Again, guys, the main reason of doing this is keeping everything organized, but I want to also do it. This is actually a television studio pretty much, and most television studios, all connections are done through BNCs. Okay, BNCs are these connections right here. And I want to talk about the cables. I had somebody ask me about BNC cables. They're asking me, where did you get your cables? Well, you really can't get these specific cables unless you buy them and you make them individually. These particular cables are solid copper. The cables are copper, and so is the center copper pin on these. These have copper. It's like mesh that goes through it, which is a shield, and you have solid copper wire that goes through the center. These are the highest quality broadcast cables you can buy. You can't get anything higher than these. These are serious high definition cables. As you can see, I have some of the lengths sitting here. So I'm just trying to get the lengths the way I want them, and then I'm gonna plug them in put them in some mesh to keep them tied together so they're not hanging all over the place. But if you're gonna use BNC cables, there is this type of high definition wire you can buy in spools. It's very, very expensive. It's solid copper all the way through, and so is the mesh. These are the best wires to go with. Like I said, building this system, I ain't using anything cheap ass. I use everything high professional, down to the BNC cables, down to the connections, down to gold connections. Everything is going to be serious low noise quality. I mean, the noise is going to be so low, it's going to be ridiculous. You're going to get the highest quality possible transfer from the rack to ProRes or even to a PC or however I'm doing it. I'm not using anything. I'm not skimping on the build on this thing. This thing is going serious high tech. Use nothing but the highest quality cables, and I'm going to wire everything up and have some of the most user-friendly decks in this rack from the bottom up using time-based correction and ProRes. So I hope that answers your question out there. Somebody asked me about the BNC cables. Yes, the cables do matter. If you get cheap cables, you get a lot of noise in the system. They may look good and they may, connect well, but that doesn't mean you're going to get a good quality signal. If you really want to do this right, you research solid copper cables for BNC. You could buy the wire and make your own ends on these things, but that's the best way to get the lowest video signal noise you can from deck to deck, from recorder to recorder, from recorder to PC. So I hope that answered your question. So I hope you guys, like I said, hoping you guys are enjoying the new year that's going to be coming up. And if Obsolete Services can help you out with your broadcast needs, feel free to drop me an email, contact us. We'd be glad to hear from you. Hope you guys enjoyed this video.